Do you think acrylics dry too fast to get a great blend? Well, think again. You don't always need wet paint to create a smooth transition. Today, I'm going to show you 4 techniques that will help you create a nice transition from color to color. By the way, this video is a section of our entire course, Acrylic Painting for Beginners. If you want to watch the entire video, just click somewhere here. My plan is simply to use black and white because it will help us understand, without worrying about color, just how to use the paint and how to mix variations of shades. This first exercise is going to be quite simple and straightforward. We're going to take a flat, or you can take whatever brush you have. I've got my flat, it's a number 10, and I'm going to start with my dark and I'm going to mix toward my light, and I'm just going to simply make a gradation of color, or a gradation of value really in this case. So we'll put on the darkest color here, and I'm just going to simply start mixing in some of the white. And I probably grabbed more than I really needed to here of the white, so I'll just going to keep trying to change this little by little, and then hopefully by the time we get to the other side it will be completely white. And in the middle, hopefully also we're getting more of a neutral gray that will be right in the middle of the value range, and getting it to be a little bit lighter. Simply just adding more and more white to the mix. I'm not really cleaning my brush out, although here at the very end, if we want to get that to be as light as the white can be, you can definitely grab another brush or wash yours out. Guys, look at this. Now, this might not seem like a big deal, but you just created a gradation. And this is an important thing for being able to create nuanced paintings and understanding values. This is the value range. You have from very, very dark, and in this case, it's just a pure black, to a very, very light. This is white, and everything in between is going to be just along this same value range. Now, black and white is simple to understand. Where you need to understand, this is the same. If we started mixing color, every color will land on this value range somewhere. So understanding values is a very important concept, and I just want to congratulate you on getting your first exercise done. Okay, to make it a little bit easier on myself, I am mixing up neutral gray here so that I have a little bit more room to do my mixes and things like that. But I also wanted to mention that if you're mixing half black and half white, what you'll find is that the black is a little bit stronger, and it will make the mix of gray darker than kind of the mid gray that I was going for. So I actually just mixed in a little bit more white, and what I want you to do is create a 3 value scale right here. We're just going to have black, a mid-tone, and you can put down a little bit of white. And what I'm going to show you when this is dry is I'm going to show you how another way that you can, without blending wet into wet, you can create a softer transition between these strong value changes by putting side by side values. And this will make more sense when I come back in just a minute here, but I'm going to dry this and I'll be right back. So your first job is to get the 3 values of white, gray, and black onto this and keep them distinct. Don't have any blending in between those. We want to see the contrast. So if you need to take a minute to do that, you can. If you're ready to move on, we'll just keep going. So I'm going to grab a smaller brush right now, and what I want to do is I'm thinking about, okay, we know that we can blend wet colors into wet colors, and we could create a gradation that way, and it's a soft blend, but we can also do the optical type of blending, where what if we took the color and the value that was in between these and just put it next to this, just right there. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to grab some of my neutral gray and I'm going to mix in some white. Now we know it takes a little bit more white than black, so I did mix in a little bit more white, and I'm going to just lay this down right next to this. Not trying to blend it or create any soft edge, but I am trying to soften the transition between these. I'm going to clean out my brush. I'm not going to get water, but I'm going to grab this, and this is a mixing a little bit more white into this, and I'm going to do that same thing one more time right here. I'm going to lay it right down next to this other one. Okay, and you see how that is now, we're starting to get softer and softer transition. Now I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to grab, it's good, just try to keep your mixes distinct so that you can tell where you're getting something from. But if we do that one more time, right next to the other one, and do you see how soft that transition is now? It's going from white to a very light gray to a little bit darker to the neutral. Now we could do it the other way also. Where we would continually find smaller transitional colors in their mixes. But the main point is you could do this all the way down. But what I just want you to know is that there are different ways of getting from one value to the next value and creating softer transitions. And one is to blend wet into wet. One is to put and lay a color or a value next to another one that is going to help transition and create a softer illusion. It's actually a hard edge there still, but it's a softer illusion. And that's the kind of thing that you can do later in your actual paintings that will help your eye transition from one part of a scene to another part of the scene. And we'll talk more about that later, but good job. Second exercise is done. Another way to create a transition between values or colors would be with another type of optical blend, and that would be called dry brushing. So what you want to do is get a brush, fairly good size like this is fine. You can use pretty much any size, but you don't want to have too much paint on your brush. But I'm going to start over here with the color as it will be like as strong and opaque as possible. And then as it comes over here, I'm just going to work on using my brush in a softer way, kind of light strokes to make it a broken edge. It's going to hopefully, let me just dry it off a little bit more. If you have too much moisture in your brush, it doesn't work too well. And think of different ways maybe to use your brush strokes, like different angles, things like that. But it's not as blended as this generally. It's not as clean as this, but in certain cases, you can really create a nice effect with a soft dry brush kind of way approaching this. Now you can also do that coming back into this with a lighter color like this white. It could also work the same way. And I'm going to show you one other thing with this, because you don't always just have to use your brush. You can also do something like this with your finger, or potentially a rag or paper towel. And again, you can see how by rubbing off a little bit of this, we're able to create a transition here and create a very kind of nice soft edge. So again, two different ways of accomplishing a similar feel. One, just simply using the brush and trying to use just a little bit to dry brush. The other would be more like smudging, but removing little bits of the edges of that transitional color or to create a softer transition. But again, useful things for me, I do smudge quite a bit. If you don't want to get paint on your fingers, of course, you could wear gloves, or you could use something like a paper towel or a rag to just do it for you. But again, another way to create nice transitions and soft transitions between colors. Good job. Third exercise is done. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is actually going to be done on this black. I put black all the way across. It's already dry, so if you want to follow along, just make sure that you put black somewhere like this and then let it dry completely. And what I'm going to do is going to be either, the way I'm thinking of it is either you could call it layering, or potentially you could call it glazing. Now, a glaze is when you use a transparent color in a light kind of wash, that means thinned down kind of version of itself to cover over something that is, and it will affect that color that's underneath it. Like it'll change it a little bit, but it's not going to completely cover it. An opaque color, if we took a opaque color and went over the top of this, we wouldn't see really the black anymore. But a transparent kind of wash or glaze will change it, but we'll still see some of the color that's underneath. Now, the reason I say I'm kind of calling it a glaze is because titanium white is not a transparent white. There is such a thing as transparent white, and that is zinc white. Sometimes you'll see it called mixing white, but zinc white is a transparent white. You can see right here where it was painted over these black lines, but you can still see the black lines. Now, if I did that same thing with titanium white, which I'll do just to show you, we might still see something through, but it's not going to be transparent like this is. You see how we can see so much better than we can see right here. And so So this is an opaque white right here. But if we thin it down, the more we thin it down, because I do have a little bit of water in my brush already, but if I thin it down even more, you could use water. Sometimes is an okay way to thin things down. There is debate over whether if you put too much water in, what will happen. Now, the reason I say there's debate is because somebody told me that Golden announced that they didn't think that it was going to affect the adhesion of the paint too much. But if you want to use something different, you can buy a glazing medium or something like airbrush medium to thin your paints down. But the point is that you're creating something that is semi-transparent. It's not as opaque as this because it has less pigment now per the volume, because we've thinned it down with either water or some type of medium. And then we can do some layering here. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to put on a little bit of this over the top. And like I said before, it's thin. So when you're glazing, one thing that's helpful to remember, and this is, again, this is kind of a glaze, but sometimes it's good to think it's not so much about the paint that you put on. It's also like a big part of glazing is how much paint and what happens to the paint when you take it off. But this, we could say, is the first layer of glaze, right? And we can see how it's changed. It's changed it, right? Now, if I wet my finger, like just a little bit, put a little bit of water on it somehow, and just kind of try to blend that edge. If we do it quickly, we can blend that a little bit. It's a little bit dry right now to get it very good, but we can come back if we're quick and we can kind of get any kind of soft edge, you know, especially with a paper towel or something like that. But we'll just say that this is our first layer here. Now I'm going to dry this and we're going to come back and we're going to do another layer on top of this. We're going to see how we can transition this all the way across. Okay, so I'm just going to use the exact same mixture. I'm not changing or adding more white or anything like this because this is all about layers, right? It's not about adding more white to it. And I'm going to try to keep things moving this direction. I'm not going to keep going over everything, so we can, hopefully we can see the transition more and more. This is pure black. This here has one coat. This is where it starts to have two coats. I'm going to keep drying this. It's going to be over and over again. We're going to do several more coats. We're just going to work on this gradation through layering or through glazing. Okay, come in here. I'm not going to go all the way over, and we'll do another layer, and I'll soften the edge. Come back this way. Starting to see more and more, right? Okay, another layer, thin, light wash here, and we'll dry it again. Okay, same process every time, same process. Getting lighter and lighter over on the side. Okay, so there you have it. You can see a few different ways of creating a transition between values, transition. This first one, we essentially just went straight across, blended wet into wet. This one, we did transitional colors that made us think that there was a softer transition, but really the actual line in between these is still fairly strong and hard. It's just that the colors are closer in value. In this one, we did dry brush on this side, and we did a little bit more of a smudging effect on this side. And this one, we simply layered. Well, we did do a little bit of smudging also on the edge, but we mostly were just layering on top, and we can see the effect of doing multiple layers. Now, if you were glazing or something like that, there's no need to necessarily do many layers or anything like that. I was just showing you how you can use it and the effect of layers on something like this. So great job. This video is a section of our entire course, Acrylic Painting for Beginners. If you want to watch the entire video, just click somewhere here.